Sensational reception for Newcastle. Jackson Hastings, one of the new favourites. That has to boost the players' spirits running out to that.
Yeah, at home, as I said, their first game of the year, coming off a big win. Their season, their fans are here, as they always do, turn out and support them. And Jackson Hastings, with all the players missing, Frizzell, Ponga, Brayley, and one of the Safidi's boys, a lot of responsibility to get this team around the park and make some good decisions is going to fall on his shoulders.
We heard from the Hammer pre-match on Fox League. He is really one of the headline acts. Can't wait to see him again in action. Already 3 tries this season. He has scored the first try for the Dolphins in each of their 2 matches. Can he do it again? We're underway on a Friday night. Dolphins and the Knights. Saifidi. There is only Daniel with us tonight, with Jacob on the suspended list. And Newcastle, their first possession, their first game at home. And a good start would keep the crowd in the game early. Thompson starting side wearing 13. It's quite a step up for him in the minutes he'll be expected to play. Oh boy, that was almost an absolute disaster there. That ball was meant to find Hastings, and Hetherington ended up with it. Saifidi, that's a good carry. That's a terrific carry up the middle on play 5. Sets it up for the kick. And it comes from Hastings, under a little bit of pressure from Donohoe. And the Dolphins have the ball for the first time with Tessie New.
Yeah, both sides missing their starting hooker. Brayley out for the Newcastle Knights, and probably one of the most improved players, Jeremy Marshall-King, out for the Dolphins. So 2 new players in that really important role at number 9.
So 15 metres inside their own half. Sarko's come in for an early touch. Look at the Knights bench. Even the most ardent fans might have recognised the faces there tonight. There's 3 on debut. Rivette, Lucas and Cant. Their NRL journey begins tonight, and that's exciting for them. Last tackle, Dolphins. And the kick from Katoa. Nice and high, range was perfect. 5 metres out from the line. Heimel Hunt with the ball. So, good start, both teams, to this one on a Friday night. Dom Young on the run, off the back of a try-double performance against the Tigers. It's a real buzz tonight. I mean, we're all excited about what's to come later tonight. Roosters and Rabbitohs right here on Fox League from Allianz Stadium. In fact, we've got 2 of the best stadiums in the competition to feature some great rugby league action tonight. Now Crossland, first time he has started a match at hooker. And again, the Knights get through a set with a Hastings kick on the end. This time it's Tabuai Fido's catch. And he is with it. 20 metres out from the Knights line. We're talking about the thrill for some of these young Newcastle players, but it's a big moment for Kurt Donohoe as well in the starting side. And he actually hails from Dudley, like one of the Newcastle junior sides, not too far away from here, about a 15-minute drive. Actually dropped into the ground earlier today. Great little footy club. And here he is playing for the Dolphins in Newcastle. Ball along for Lemuelu. And some pretty solid contact up there. Gagai in the tackle. Milestone games tonight too. Gagai's playing game 150 for Newcastle. Tom Gilbert playing his 50th NRL game, the number 13 for the Dolphins. Another high one from Katoa. Good catch. Miller over his shoulder. Let's go down to the sideline for the first time tonight. James Hooper.
G'day, Vossi and Flano. Evening, everyone. The good news is that the temperature has dropped significantly in the last hour. It's about 24 degrees at ground level at the moment. As you touched on off the top, as we see Newcastle get a relieving penalty. There is a breeze, Vossi. It is swirling, not particularly favouring either side. And for the Dolphins, the Cinderella story at the moment, there has been a late change. You'll see Kenny Bromwich in the middle of the field. That means that Connolly Lemuelu is playing left edge back row.
With all the sideline duties here in Newcastle, we'll monitor closely when there is movement on the Newcastle bench. The big moment for these young fellas playing their first game. We'll give you the heads up. Now Crossland to Hastings to Seifingham. And a good start to the match from a State of Origin front rower. Leading here for the Knights. Hetherington has only played an average of 29 minutes across the first 2 rounds of the season, so it's a step up for him tonight as well. And there's a short ball for Fitzgibbon off Gamble. And then a drop ball at the end of it, and Lachlan, oh, he gives himself a quadruple falcon.
Yeah, it was a nice play from the Newcastle Knights. They shift over to this left edge. And it's one of his pet plays, that lead run. He's a very good lead runner. Just as he hits the ground, just bobbles out at that last minute. But really good start from the Newcastle Knights. Really powerful from the back end of the field. Not a lot of pass in their game, but really powerful. And a big time, 5 minutes that first cycle of football for both sides before a penalty to the Newcastle Knights. So some good continuous football at the start of this game.
I counted 11 hits of the head with the ball from Lachlan Fitzgibbon. He might be called off by the independent doctor after that. Hit himself in the head so many times. And scored a try in each of the first 2 weeks. Well, that almost was forward from Donohoe. It was a slow motion play at a dummy half. 10 short of the halfway line. And the ball with Gilbert. Terrific contribution by Gilbert last week against the Raiders. Now Bromwich. Spun down in the Fitzgibbon tackle. Right side, Katoa doesn't find the mark. Tabuai Fido. Tackle count has restarted there. Touched by the Knights. So a nice opportunity for the visitors here. Gilbert centre ground. On the 30-metre line, Newcastle's end. There is Bromwich playing tighter tonight. One of the many experienced forwards they signed for their first season. Tabuai Fido turning them inside. That was a pretty handy tackle by Brodie Jones on Lemuelu. But it's a red-hot chance for the Dolphins now. Gilbert got through the first line of Hetherington, who looked a little sluggish coming away from it. 5 away, right side, O'Sullivan, nice work. Branko Lee trying to stand them up. But Bradman Best was up in his face. Ball and all stuff from Newcastle. Last tackle for O'Sullivan. Left foot kick. Phones the end goal. Doesn't find a teammate. And Newcastle have the ball.
And the experience of Gagai just comes in and gets that catch. But what a battle on the other side of the field with the 2 centres. 2 big, powerful centres in Bradman Best and Branko Lee.
Be too long on the ground or be in complete shadow, but not the case early here for the 6 o'clock start in daylight savings. Now Gagai with the ball. Just short of the 30-metre line. Hastings, yet another kick. Exclusively his role so far tonight. Tabuai Fido. Playing the first 2 weeks like he used to do in the schoolyard. He just makes space for himself. He chimes in. Let's hope he has an injury for a year. He's going to be a star for the Dolphins. There he is already, a Queensland Origin rep. Ball with Osako. Big skip and a jump from the winger. They're 10 inside the Knights half. Donohoe for metres. O'Sullivan, little opportunity opened up on the left side. Bromwich carting it inside the 30. The ball slowed though. Bromwich a little slow to his feet. A settler 2 in front of the post on the last tackle. O'Sullivan is left. It comes that way, right up to the line. Crap and scrap. Knights make the error. More pressure to be applied on the home team.
He knocks it on.
Yeah, and we just see O'Sullivan going to the line, but he's got a speedster inside him in the hammer. Just chasing for that kick. He just couldn't thread the needle and just comes off. Brodie Jones, I think it is, plays at the football, and they get another set right on their try line.
All right, let's see how they set up here. Tabuai Fido, he's the tricky one. You can see him directly behind the scrum. Is he going to sweep left? Is he going to sweep right?
He'll sweep right, I think. He'll come to the young fella, Katoa over here with Branko Lee leading.
Shot clock off. Stay on. Stand square.
All right, here they are. 10
go
metres
left.
away from the line. Coming up left, O'Sullivan. Hamiso is just caught. 4 metres away from the line. Early pressure is all on Newcastle. Deep back there, O'Sullivan. Now they've got a little bit of room to attack. Knights come up off their line. Applause from the crowd. Bromwich churning in. O'Sullivan. Crisp passing across for Lee. Fend. Best got him with Hunt. Now Osako. Katoa. O'Sullivan. Runner is Bromwich. Just a couple of games shy of 300 for Jesse Bromwich. High ball. O'Sullivan. Then able to get it to Tabuai Fado. The Dolphins are on the board first. Tessie New. They catch the Knights out on the left. Dolphins keep it rolling.
And it's an outstanding team try. They lay the right-hand side of the field with some powerful running, and then everyone knows exactly what is going on. O'Sullivan gets the football. He plays out the back to that man, the hammer, and he goes, he threatens the line, but he releases the ball nice and early, and they just strip him from numbers on that left-hand side of the field, but really well constructed. This team is only 3 games in to the season, and they all look on the same page. They all know exactly where they need to be. They time their passing, they time their runs to perfection on this occasion, and a very, very good team try.
Yeah, and what was noticeable there on the replays too, the lead runners, they made sure they didn't have interference with the defenders. So often you can see a try denied in that situation. It's been confirmed here.
Well, Vossi, they knew they had speed and they had skill out the back, and they wanted to get it into the hands of those type of players. So that's why they played early to them. They got it out the back, get it to the hammer, get it in his hands, and let him run a little bit, and then get it to the centres and wingers in some space.
There is so much football too ahead of this try scorer, Tessie New, and we've seen that. He's already an international. And we saw it at the Broncos, some injuries last year, but you know, he's out on the wing here. But I don't think his days at fullback are over. I don't think his days at the halves may be over. He's a really handy player.
Yeah, he's a very, very good player. As you said, can play fullback, and they can even put Tabuai to go on the wing for a bit of a spell.
And there's the kicking boot of Osako on show early. The Dolphins 6, the Knights 0.
Brilliant start for Tessie New, the Redcliffe Dolphins winger. And it's a case of what could have been. Over the course of the summer, the Newcastle Knights were chasing this man. Vossi and Flano have just underlined his versatility. He can also play fullback. The Knights wanted him to play fullback. It didn't happen, but the Broncos did give him permission to have a look around. He has ended up at the Dolphins. A great start to this game, a try on the left edge.
We saw him on the international stage as far back as 2019 as a teenager for Tonga, or the Tonga Invitational side it was then. So Friday night football on Fox League. Our first points belong to the Dolphins. This incredible story continues.
Head injury, and he's in the ruck here. Tackle 1, Jesse.
Well, surely the head injury bad luck won't continue for the Knights here. Fitzgibbon down.
Okay, just let.
It's almost like he did his own jaw check there, didn't he? He's got the upper arm of Bromwich. There it is there. So last week, didn't we? Corey Oates, fractured jaw.
He's with Craig Catterick, the orange shirt there for Newcastle Knights, very experienced, been to a number of clubs.
All right, so a check of Lachlan Fitzgibbon. Obviously, the independent doctor will now also be in the process of a check. Dolphins with possession, and nice and strong from Newcastle. The red and the blue swarming in there on Bromwich. And now Jesse follows up Kenny. And likewise, good defence, Newcastle. Oh, Gilbert is hit over the top by Saifiti. Tommy Gilbert's the sort of bloke that will enjoy that. Getting smashed by an opposition front rower. He'll go again, don't worry about that.
Couldn't agree more. He would have checked him what number it was, and he'll get his turn back later on in this game. That's something that Newcastle Knights need. They just need someone to come out the line and get this crowd behind this football team. If they play conservative, they're not going to get the job done tonight. They need to get off their line defensively and pull off some big shots and run with some vigour and support.
Gagai back with it. Adam O'Brien, coach. Newcastle Centre of Excellence, not too far from the ground. He lobbed around, I guess it was 3 o'clock this afternoon, maybe a little earlier than that. Ready for tonight, knowing that he's got some newcomers to first grade. Saifidi has been really good to start the match. Last tackle, Gamble, there was a chance to run it. He decides to bomb. It's close to the sideline, and that is superb work by Osako. He had virtually no right to stay in the field of play there.
Yeah, you could hear him coming. He did a fantastic job, caught the ball and got straight to the ground. If he didn't do it, he would have been put over that touchline. But a well-placed kick from Newcastle Knights.
And they're all dialed in. The Dolphins, Fitzgibbon, is he struggling or not? Penalty, Dolphins. This should take them inside the Knights' half. Fitzgibbon appears to have more than just one problem, I reckon.
No, he's not. I'm the captain. Check on the sheet.
The Knights will do all they can here just to slow it down a bit, but what you said in the lead up to the try, so they are dialed in, they know their roles. It's
typical Wayne Bennett team. They know their role. Do your job. Whack some effort into it. Play for each other. That's the Wayne Bennett coach football teams.
Way back in 1988 with the Broncos, they won their first 6 matches in existence. Dolphins might match that. 10 metres inside the Knights half. Sullivan turning it back inside, and Gilbert is the ball carrier. Crossland had a good hold of his left leg. Donohoe, Katoa, short and flat for Kafusi. He's only 22 metres from the Knights line. He's lost the ball. Any challenge? There will be no challenge. It's a rueful-looking Felice Kafusi.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether Felice was expecting that football. The young half Katoa goes to the line and just tips on to his edge-back rower. He won't make any excuses for that drop because he's been around for a while.
Yeah, well, that's a let-off for Newcastle. Dolphins an error, their first of the night. They're 8 of 9 sets. The Dolphins, Knights are 5 of 6. Yet to have an offload in the match as we get into the battle. 15 minutes in. One try on the board to Tessie New. Bradman Best has come in from left centre.
And just on 16 minutes into the game, the Newcastle Knights have all been yardage. It's all been coming off their try line up around the 40, 50 metre mark and kicking. They've had no play the balls in the opposition 20.
Hastings, ooh, was hit and passed. Mind you, 15 minutes in last week, they'd already lost Kalen Ponga and they'd lost Jaden Brayley. So that's an improvement on the injury stakes of last week. Saifidi with the ball. Crowd has built up from kickoff as well. It's a little bigger than when they ran out. It's a good turnout. Hastings now kicking 38 metres out. Nice and high. Tabuai Fido, though, had it under control. Dolphins start up a set outside their 10-metre zone. Tessie New now on the run. You as a coach, Shane, let us into the mind of Adam O'Brien when you've got 3 rookies on your bench. And Matt Croker, by the way, the other players, only played 18 first-grade matches. Is that a hard job, or do you just show faith in them? No, they've got to play big minutes.
Well, you've got to show faith in them, and you hope they bring energy. Obviously, they've got the ability. They've been through the junior system, and they've come to the club with high hopes. And as I said, after last week for Newcastle Knights, bringing some new, fresh blood into the team gives you some excitement.
Oh, Sullivan had opened them up, and Tabuai Fido put it down. The ruck play, the quick play of the ball, the hooker, the halfback, the fullback, they were all on the same page, but the ball was put down.
Yeah, the outside-inside dummy half just jumps out, engages the markers. O'Sullivan, smart, goes to the first defender off the ruck and plays back inside to his speeds to fullback. It was just the hand of the Newcastle Knights player that upset the catch of Tabuai Fido.
Well, I don't know whether the replay looked to me that Thompson got a hand to it, although if there's no challenge. Anyway, that's one for review later. Hastings will feed the scrum and the Knights will have possession back. That guy with the ball was his inexperienced bench. The coach, does he have them all out there at the same time? That would be the problem. Trying to keep that mix of the newcomers and the experience. Now Hetherington, athletic, forward. Got good speed at Hetherington. Now for Thompson. Little turn of the momentum here. Hastings. And they're up on Hetherington again. 21 metres away from the Dolphins line. It's the last tackle. Hastings right, Gamble left. Right is the way they go. And Hastings kicking it back, looking for Gamble. He's got it on the full. That is perfection. Between your two halves, they have absolutely, I said on the same page, the Dolphins, but the two Knights halves have just, it's just sweet. It is absolutely perfectly executed.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Bossy. They practice this in training and they just hope that they get the opportunity, get the field position to put this on in the game. And then early on in this game, a beautiful kick from Jackson Hastings for his halves partner. Pushes through. He had a bit of work to do as well on the collision. He just wanted it more than the Dolphins fullback, and that's a great return of strike for a try under all sorts of pressure coming off their try line. They finally get some field position. They come up with a fantastic kick for a try.
Oh, that's a beauty. Only his second try in the NRL, Tyson Gamble. His first career try was back in round 14, 2021. Broncos v Raiders. We saw Gamble and Hastings in the pre-season challenge get to play together in a match, but yeah, it's very limited minutes out on the field together until injury forced Gamble out there early last week.
Yeah, and as I said, the combination, and it hasn't been all good going for the Newcastle Knights. As I said, they've come off their try line, they've battled away. The Dolphins have had really good field position. They finally get down there and come up with points. A real confidence builder for that young Newcastle Knights side. With all that experience taken out of through injury and suspension, now they get a try and they get back and they get this huge crowd behind them.
2 tries and they've both been special here tonight on Fox League on a Friday night. All locked up. Some really good signs about this contest. Knights and Dolphins 6-all.
Some silky touches from the Newcastle halves. Jackson Hastings with a pinpoint kick and Tyson Gamble with the perfect chase. Scores under the post. He'll light that. He was actually a Dolphins junior, Vossi. He's obviously had a couple of clubs. Debuted for the West Tigers back in 2018. It was at the Brisbane Broncos last year. He's found his way into this Newcastle team with Kalen Ponga out due to that concussion, and he's made a bird of it early.
And as we know, James, doesn't take much to get Tyson fired up. He did enjoy that try.
He's a passionate player, that's for sure. Before the game, I was wondering where the Newcastle Knights points were going to come from, and it was just definitely Jackson Hastings needed to be involved in it, and we see it the first occasion get down there, and his precision, his kicking game gets him 6 points.
All the Knights bench is now up on their feet. Likewise, Dolphins. Mark Nichols is warming up as the Knights work it away from their own line. Best with it. It's amazing what one win could do. If the Knights had have come here 0-2, maybe different feel. But tonight, you know, there's confidence about their play. The crowd is into the game. There's a bit of a buzz here. Now Crossland, Hastings, and Miller, and then quickly on, and Young's away. Now the crowd is up. Young back inside. Oh, that's a tackle. O'Sullivan clipped Miller. Last tackle, Knights. Gagai to Gamble. Gamble to Fitzgibbon. Fitzgibbon doesn't offload. Fitzgibbon loses the ball. What a set. What a set from the Knights.
Well, Sean O'Sullivan, if the Dolphins are going to go on and win this football game, they'll look back at that moment the speedster down the right-hand side. There's Sean O'Sullivan in there. He just hangs and keeps chasing and keeps chasing. Wayne Bennett coached football teams are all based on effort, and that's a perfect example. He chased and then rounds the fullback up. A big tackle.
All of the Andrew Johns stand here on the eastern side of the ground are all up as Young sprinted away. That was exciting rugby league. Dolphins back with the ball. And a decent old highlights package already developed through 21.5 minutes. The Knights aim up in defence. Kick from O'Sullivan. Perfectly positioned as Miller. He's already got 14 tackle busts for the season. Lockie Miller. Young. We all got a chance to see speed there. Croker is out there. He's the first replacement that the Knights have made, their most experienced man on the bench. He's got a bit of ball play about him too. Matt Croker. 19th game, and there you go, right on cue. Now Hastings, cut-out ball, Best runs away from support, offloads Fitzgibbon. The Knights crowd is up again. They're not getting much use of the seats at the moment, and that's a good thing. Campbell, oh, good defence. Off the line, shut it down. Last tackle, Hastings signalling bomb for Young's wing. It's a slow play the ball if he can get to his feet at all. I don't think he can. Gamble unable to get to his feet.
Yeah, it was interesting because Jackson Hastings is down on one knee as well. When he passed that ball for the half break to Bradman Best, he got some contact from behind, and we just see his halves partner.
Oh boy, I think I can play doctor here. Ahead of Kenny Bromwich has gone somewhere no one should go as Hastings kicks. He looks for Young. There's the leap. The ball over the sideline. He's got the height advantage out of the wing. Young v New.
He sure has. That's a really smart play by Ewan Aiken, rushing out there to help his winger partner. Just waited for him to attempt the catch, put some pressure on him, and put him over the sideline.
Dolphins with the ball just outside their 10, but good comeback Newcastle, having conceded the first try. They haven't necessarily doused the fire of the Dolphins, but they've lit one of their own, which is the good thing.
And it was a scramble defence from the Dolphins down in this bottom corner that saved the day. Twice Fitzgibbon in some space, but they scrambled and saved the try.
Now for Gilbert, this has been a good set. Effective metre eating by the Dolphins to the last tackle. Nikorima's now out there. So 9 on his back, but coming off the bench. High one for Young. He's with it. And Dom Young, good metres to get almost back to the 30. And the crowd enjoyed that run back. Begging for penalty there. Hunt on the charge back. All the rookies still waiting to get their first minute. We're now up to the 25th. The crowd's done their job. Penalty, up they go. This is far removed from some of the somber days they had last year, the Knights.
Yeah, they're playing with real energy, running hard, getting their nose through the line, getting down and making a contest on the ground for the play the ball. And on that occasion, they just couldn't keep up, the Dolphins.
Play the ball. Jackson. Final. You got to play the ball.
Well,
play the ball, your tackle.
Because he's outside of the 40 metres, so the referee called for a penalty.
Yes.
But he's outside of the 40 metres.
Should be set and restart.
It's a set restart.
Well, mistakes can be made. Let's not labour that point, but explain there, and playback underway with the Knights. Yes, it was grim times here last year. 9 of the 12 games they lost here were decided by more than 20 points. I mean, they weren't just getting beaten, they were getting smashed at home. Wow. So this is good contrast here. Miller with the ball, 40 metres away from the Dolphins line. It's gone off the mark, Crossland to Saifiti. Some good Supercoach numbers, 7 hit-ups for the night and 15 tackles for Saifiti. Hastings Thompson. Crossfield linking up with Campbell. Last play, Knights. Crossland just gets there in time. Hastings with it. He'll kick, looking for Young again. The flying Dom Young. Ball wasn't knocked forward. The Knights fans in the corner are saying that's a try. Bunker will have the final say, but for the moment, it is the Knights in front. And there's
touches his left hand.
okay. Shane Flanagan has no try. Gagai's celebrating. And we're going to make the review official. We're basically, in the business world, we say we're taking it online now. We're offline there for a while, but now we're going online with the review. I'm still not clear.
Just looking to determine if Dominic Young touches the ball in flight. Okay, initially we have a ball hit back by the Dolphins, but Dominic Young touches the ball with his left hand.
So we're saying knocked back.
So we have a knock on from the Knights.
Okay, so they don't even get a knock on from the Dolphins out of it. In the meantime, Ray Stone's just gone out there, so get the Richter scale ready for some Ray Stone hits here. Put the money in the jukebox.
And Bossy, you called Cody Nikorima had gone on for the Dolphins. Cody Nikorima's played, come off the bench a lot of times, can play in the halves, has played in hooker. But what we saw in that set there was the big Newcastle forwards turning the ball back under, and they found him twice. Obviously a smaller man, and they got some really good play the balls on Cody Nikorima. On the other side of the coin, when the Dolphins have got the ball, he's sharp out of dummy half. But if you can find him defensively in the middle part of the field, it'll give the Knights some advantage.
It's down, Lachlan.
Dolphins at scrum food, been a couple of close calls.
Great.
By the way, I spent the afternoon in Newcastle, Shane, and it just shows you how far the NRLW's come. A lot of people talking, what do you know about Millie Boyle? What's the story with Millie? You know what I mean? Like, they're talking rugby league up here, not just NRL, but NRLW. And is Millie Boyle going to remain a Knight? It is a true rugby league town, this place, let me tell you. Dolphins with the ball just outside their 30. Sullivan dropping it off there for Lemuelu. Takes three and quite a wrestling effort to get him down. Looks at home on the left edge. Gilbert. Last play, Dolphins. Sullivan taken down as he kicked. Young. Oh, Young's lost it. Young lost it. It went straight down and out of the breadbasket.
Yeah, it was just in that no man's land. Sullivan doesn't hit it as well as he'd like to. Dom Young has to come forward. There's a bit of pressure around, and he had a bit of a peek. And unfortunately comes up with an error.
Round 3 is multicultural round in the NRL, recognising and celebrating the diverse cultural backgrounds that make up the rugby league community. Players, fans, staff, volunteers represent the broad variety of backgrounds that make Australia such a vibrant multicultural nation. It is our differences that make us stronger together. We all subscribe to that. And our beautiful sport rugby league is as multicultural as ever. 15 metres away from the line. I was thinking a Luke Keary try on St Patrick's Day would be nice tonight. Now the Irish international, Luke Keary. Here's Nicarima. Switch and play. Back for Nichols. Already a try scorer this year. Mark Nichols, 5 from the line. Nicarima. And on that right edge, Kafusi, that's strong. Thompson, Gamble there. Set restart. Nicarima, they might only need one. Gilbert burrowed in hard there. Now, Nicarima tries the old burrow over, and he's done it easy. He's rolled over. Just rolled over the line like a big ball. Cody Nicarima to score. Disappointing defence on the goal line by the Knights.
Yeah, really smart play from Cody Nicarima. We just spoke about him before. He can be found out defensively. He's not the biggest man on the football field, probably the smallest at the moment, but he hits some short lead runners. A really big, good run by Gilbert, and then they just jump too quick, the Newcastle Knights. He hesitates a little bit to pick the football up, makes them make the first move, gets down low, pushes in between people, and that's a smart, nice hooker's try.
Well, you're the former hooker, Shane. You love that. Watching Nicarima sell it so well. He looked everywhere at dummy half. Like he looked like he was exploring 10 different options, but all he's thinking in his head, I'm going to have a crack here.
Yeah, 100%, and that was my try-scoring distance.
Was it?
That's as far as I ran for
that was
try.
it, yeah.
But, you know, as I said, he's a smart player. He's been around. He's come on an interchange at really important times, and he comes up with a nice try there. He just his attention to detail. He scanned who was in front of him, where the space was, let him jump, and then make his move.
Yes, you can Google Shane Flanagan tries. You'll find some grainy old black and white vision there. Lidcombe Oval try.
No, it's not that old.
Back in the day. So 2 brilliant tries, and then you just get the dummy half barge over, and they're all worth the same. Highly entertaining, this contest. 12-6. Dolphins leading the Knights.
A bit of brilliance from this man on screen, Cody Nicarima, and he gets his opportunity in the NRL this week off the back of Jeremy Marshall-King being suspended. He was player's player for the Redcliffe Dolphins in Q Cup last week. The Dolphins leading 12-6 as we see Newcastle have gone to the bench. One of the debutants is on, Thomas Cant. He is a local junior as well. Terrific story, Bossy.
Yeah, Knights jersey flag captain last year. In fact, we've got a few players out of that jersey flag grand final on show here. Good luck to you, Thomas. It's a privilege for us to be here to call your first game in the big show. And he's straight away involved in that first tackle, wearing jumper number 22. Now Mark Nichols with the ball. Back to the 30-metre line. So Dylan Lucas and Ryan Rivette wait for their first minutes. Hosland up in the front line, defending with so much work to do. He's had 20 tackles tonight. Leo Thompson's had 25 tackles tonight. You know, burning up the petrol. I mean, he's a player who only averaged 30 minutes a game last year in first grade, but having to really lift tonight.
Yeah, well, he's, you know, last year was his learning year, and now he needs to stand up and play some big minutes in the desperate time with a few players out. You just see the penalty there, coming in below the knee, third man in.
Thompson certainly earned his break. Top tackle count of either side, in fact, in that opening. 25 tackles from Leo Thompson. Dolphins with the ball. Now here is Stone. Caught low by Saifiti. Nicarima, Nichols, Sullivan, kicks, chases aplenty. Oh, good take. Lockie Miller. That's skilled. And what about the footwork? Oh no, Shepherd, there was it. It's an obstruction play or escort, but Miller was doing some serious dancing.
Yeah, the referee's penalised Gagai on the obstruction as he brings the football back. It's one of those tough calls when the fullback's bringing it back and his side's retreating. He's got to find some space, but also they've got to make sure that they don't get in the way or obstruct a Dolphins defender.
Dangerous set this for the home side. The Dolphins already leading by 6. Some nasty numbers around the Knights when they concede 18 points or more. Nikorima, Gilberts in front of the post. Surely Nikorima doesn't go again, does he? Here he is looking up, looking around with the ball. No, clears the ruck. O'Sullivan. Tabuai Fido. Taken by the legs there. Brodie Jones in the tackle. Set restart. Dolphins. O'Sullivan. They can settle it down with Stone. They've got good shape to the right. They're flat left. Deep on the right. They go the flat side. And again, the Knights defence. Not a... the ball's lost. Tessie New stretching out. He was diving and stretching, but not exactly celebrating with the same exuberance as his teammates.
Yeah, it was really interesting as they go out to the short side. It's 4-on-4. Ewan Aiken just gets the ball around the back, and then it's a contest. Ooh.
Great skill, Aitken around the corner. Good work, Lemuelu, to let it go.
I can't give that a try. I just don't. I think he loses contact. Oh.
I'm with you. The ball's the hand is coming off the back of the ball, but you will find a frame where the ball is, where the hand is still in contact with the ball when it hits the ground.
Correct.
So
yes.
if you're ruling in frames of a second, you will say try, but he's in the act of losing the ball.
Well, we'll put it down to Ewan Aiken if it is a try. Some really smart play. Played a lot in the back row when he was at the Warriors, and then he comes over here, played a lot of centre for the Dragons. It just shows his class there.
So they're going to confirm the try. They're explaining it to the Knights, and it is a matter of fractions of a second that the hand is on the ball.
Okay, and you've got a lot of your players that are coming and you're leading the charge, okay? I don't mind answering your questions, but it has to be respectful, okay?
I know, mate, but come on.
Yeah, it needs to change, okay? Or are we running out of options of what to do, okay?
It is both sides up,
yeah,
mate.
that's fine. You're the captain, be better, but...
All right, so a bit of argy-bargy there, but bottom line, the Dolphins have their third try. So as I say, his hand is at the back of the ball. That is why it's come out. It's not
There's been no
the
loss
literal
of
sense
contact.
of downward pressure. He's in the process of losing it, but
Yeah, there's been no space in between him and the ball. Really interesting, both their tries, the last two tries for the Dolphins are off the back of 6 again calls. The Newcastle Knights have done a pretty good job defensively, but it's when they back up and give a penalty away and give them another set of 6, they just can't continue that try line defence.
Sarko's kick, he misses one. He misses one from the left. So 16 points to 6. We're inside the final 6 minutes of the first half. Tessie New now has a double. But it's quite the try assist from Ewan Aitken.
It all goes back to that obstruction call on the Newcastle Knights fullback, Lachie Miller, as they kicked into the corner. He tried to bring the ball back, tried to do his best, and unfortunately gets called for obstruction, and then the Dolphins just go on and score a try.
Nichols. At least they were saved getting to 18, because every time the Knights conceded 18 or more in a game last year, they lost every time. So 16 is the tally for the Dolphins at the moment. Look at the VB hard earned index at the moment. This man, Tommy Gilbert, has got some big numbers on the board. 12 hit-ups, 23 tackles, and now Kafusi hit hard and lost the ball. Referee will say knock on. There's the VB hard earned index, and he's a clear leader. Tommy Gilbert, what a contribution again. He was huge last week. He's 12 hit-ups, 93 metres, 23 tackles, Tom Gilbert so far.
And I think you'll find the contact here is a young boy on debut, Cant. He just comes up with a really good contact just above the football, forces the error on the more experienced player, Kafusi.
Halftime show, we'll hear from Latrell Mitchell ahead of tonight's game, the Rabbitohs and the Roosters at Allianz Stadium. Superstars abound tonight. in the heart of the city of Sydney. Right now the focus is Newcastle and the Knights with possession. I won't say desperate for points coming up to half time, but they'll feel a lot better if they're less than 10. Full stop there for Gamble. Miller, flat, Fitzgibbon, back to Miller. Miller goes over. Despite Gilbert making the tackle, another lovely rugby league try right there. Exquisite stuff. Fitzgibbon and Miller combining.
Well, Fitzgibbons, as we said earlier, is a great line runner, but it's Lachie Miller who just bounces across, sees a bit of space, gives it to his edge back rower, and he pushes through holes, and then Lachie Miller doesn't stop on his pass, just travels around and gets it back off his back rower, who keeps his feet, looks for support. That's a beautiful pass to Lachie Miller. Started it and finished it. That's a great strike back, just what the Newcastle Knights needed just before half-time.
With the exception of Nick Arumas, and albeit crafty work from a dummy half, there's been some beautiful rugby league played for the scoring of the tries tonight. Miller, just his 10th game in the NRL and his 4th try. I think there are many, many more coming his way. Lachie Miller, Olympian, on show in the NRL.
And he hasn't played a lot of NRL. He's still learning his trade. He's so dangerous when he brings the ball back. We just see there, he's got good spatial awareness. He's got a good pass. He knew where he needed to get the football. And that other man, Fitzgibbon, he's just smart. He's the most experienced player out there. He needs to stand up on nights like tonight when they've got a lot of players out.
Well, Lachie Miller, he's way too good for the Los Angeles Rugby Union Club. That's where he was headed until the Sharks came in 11th hour and got him last year. And now he's a star recruit for the Knights. Hastings gets it. Brings it back to 4, the difference. Newcastle rocking a little here at 16-12.
It is game on, Vossi, and this man on screen, Lachie Miller. What a story he is, 28 years of age. He is late to the party in terms of his NRL development. As you touched on, it is only his 10th game. He was previously a representative for Australia at the Olympics in Rugby Union Sevens. Was at the Cronulla Sharks last year, managed 7 games, and then this was Newcastle's big off-season play. They wanted him to be the man to fill Kalen Ponga's #1 jumper, and he's done a hell of a job so far.
Saifidi, Shane, is fullback the only position Lachie could play? You reckon he could give value in? Could he go to the halves if we're looking for alternatives for Kalen Ponga?
Yeah, he could. He definitely got the skill set to go there. It's probably just more of a defensive. Has he played there defensively? As we see a penalty to Newcastle Knights coming out of trouble, exactly what they needed. 2 minutes to go. They'll get a good ball set down here.
So exciting to watch though, Lachie Miller. You know, and as James said, 10th match. But you don't want to look away when the ball is coming his way. Something can happen.
But there's one criticism of him earlier days was he didn't pass the football, but we just see there, pass, looped around and gets the try.
On a roll here, Newcastle. Back-to-back sets, 25 metres from the Dolphins line. 16-12 score line. Knights haven't led tonight. Across to Bests. Brenko Lee up. A couple of big centres there. And Best tracks. Now Crossland, everyone up on the line. No fullback back. Saifiti. He's inside the 20. Crossland switching left. Hastings right to the line. Miller's there again. And offloading for Gamble. He's 10 away. Stone got him. Lee as well. Last tackle Newcastle off a quick play the ball. Oh, Crossland had to give it. He had to give it and he held on to the ball.
Well, out the corner of his eye, he saw the Dolphins defence rush up on his outside and he thought he had a little bit of an opportunity to sneak in beside him, but they come and got him from the inside as well. Really good defence from the Dolphins on their try line, and it needed to be made.
Yeah, one last chance for points before half-time. I mean, send it over Dom Young's way again. wasn't to be. Tessie New with the ball. I think we'll be putting the cues in the rack at 16-12. Halftime show, a reminder, Latrell Mitchell. Last word on Rabbitohs Roosters coming up later tonight. We're getting from Joey Manu as well. Gee, we've broken our salary cap at halftime with a talent. There's Lemuelu, maybe the cue's not in the rack. Dolphins with it, attacking. Mark Nichols, has he got a chip over the top? Short answer is no. And the Dolphins held up with the ball. Good first half, good entertainment. Both teams in the contest. Half time, Dolphins 16, Knights 12. Friday night, what a great night of the week this is. If your working week is done, you're settling in for the night with Fox League. Thank you for inviting us into your homes. And this is the first of two very big games tonight, Knights and Dolphins. McDonald Jones Stadium looking magnificent and a pretty good contest to boot. 16-12 half time. I think first points here, second half, very important because Newcastle can really get the crowd stirred up if they win, and the Dolphins can get right on the front foot if they skip out to 10 or more. And
that man that we just saw on screen, Sean O'Sullivan, he's had 0 runs for 0 metres. He's got the team around the park, he's passed them around the park and he's kicked well, but this second half, he needs to run. He's a dangerous footy player when he runs the ball. Some tiring middle defence from the Newcastle Knights. He needs to take them on.
Yes, and rookie hooker Donohoe, while he was on the field, didn't have a run. So there's two dynamics of their attack that were basically untouched the first half. Nicarima just had the one dummy half. Little result was a try, but there hasn't actually been a dummy half run by the man who has to play. Hastings hasn't a run of the football either. Yeah, there's a bit in the tank for the playmakers.
Yeah, and they've both kicked and passed the team around the park really well. But in this second half, when the middle forwards are tiring, they need to run the ball.
Second half, lights starting to take effect. Crowd's having a good night. Home team aiming up. And Nichols takes the first run of the second half. And Jones and Croker were the defenders there waiting. Thomas Cant in the tackle. Thomas is still waiting for his first run of the ball. He's just made his 9th tackle of the match. The man wearing the 22 for the Knights on debut at 20 years of age. And waiting in the wings, Dylan Lucas and Ryan Rivette for the Knights. Yet to see any football, Gilbert claiming crusher. No one's listening or responding or reacting. Gilbert and Saififi, the 2 forward. Oh no, Felice Kafusi is having, well, I'll use the expression, a hands like Dolphins flippers, which is very, very relevant to a Dolphins player. But tonight his hands have let him down badly.
Yeah, and we see Gilbert, his head caught in there, and there was a Newcastle Knights player's head actually underneath him. But I like the change of the rule here. We're not going to the bunker. We're not going to look at it again if the referee doesn't see it in time, or if the bunker doesn't think it's a major issue and the player should be put on report. Play on. 5 drop balls by the Dolphins tonight, 3 from Felice Kafusi. Yeah, he's experienced, he's safe. Tonight, unfortunately, his hands are just let him down.
Wide ball from the scrum. Gamble. So a little unexpected, the opportunity here for Newcastle. 31 metres from the line. Gamble, Hastings, and then up quickly on Croker. Nothing he could do there in the Gilbert tackle. Now Kent gets a run of the ball. Good young talent, likewise Mason Teague for the Dolphins, who we'll see later, made his debut last week. Miller stepping. Can't get away from Gilbert. You'd reckon there's 2 Tom Gilberts out there. What a work rate. Hastings and dummy. Oh, can't sled. Kafusi in a little bit of redemption mode there. Cleans up the young fella who got him in the first half. Hastings kick, looking for Young. Young wins the leap. Then the ball doesn't return to Gagai. And up with the ball is Aitken for the Dolphins. Moving freely and up over the 20. So Kent got a shot in on Kafusi in the first half. And then Kafusi well and truly got the rookie back in that previous set. Watch it again. He was falling, and Kafusi made sure of it. Let's go down to the sideline. James Hooper, what was said at half-time, James?
Wayne Bennett, as we know, Vossi likes to keep a very simple game plan. He wants the Dolphins to focus on their completion rate, cut out the errors, so he wouldn't have been happy with that drop ball from Felice Kafusi only moments ago. For Newcastle, Adam O'Brien wants them to tidy up the ruck area. He feels as though they've been dominated in defence as we see Tessie New away. Tessie New, left flank, 20 away from the Knights line. They regroup well. Now O'Sullivan and Katoa, Nichols can't squeeze through the defence there. Last tackle, Dolphins. Katoa is to the right. O'Sullivan's flat on the left. It comes to the young 5'8". They're going to run it. Tabuai Fido, kick, finds the in goal. Miller, as good as he is, has nowhere to go. Line dropout, nice and sharp from the Dolphins, that.
Yeah, real sharp. Katoa, last tackle. They go down that right-hand side. He knows he's got his fullback out the back to go into run shape. Newcastle Knights shut it down really well, but Tabuai Fido, really smart kick, nice weight, gets his side to repeat set.
Good buzz here. It'll be rocking at Allianz later as we bring you Rabbitohs and the Roosters tonight here on Fox League. Big post-match show later tonight as well. And tomorrow, the Queensland treble. We go from the Gold Coast to Townsville to Brisbane. Nichols tackled 15 metres away from the line. Belmore's a sellout for Sunday when we bring you the Bulldogs and the Tigers. And we'll brush home with the Raiders and the Sharks on Sunday night. Every game on Fox League. Dolphins 10 metres away from the line. Katoa, show, dump it off inside. Gilbert goes again. He's got a 4-pointer in him again tonight. Five from the line. Nikorima, Katoa, and O'Sullivan digs deep. But Jones has him, so that takes one kicker out of the play. Katoa's ready. What has he got to offer? His kick is just a fraction too long. Not quite good enough from the Dolphins. Look out, best away, passing. And they get it together. Miller, lights out. He's away. Like a run up a drain pipe. He sprints away, Lockie Miller. Newcastle fans have a new favourite. He's a former Shark who's come via the Olympics in Tokyo to join Newcastle.
Yeah, what a start for Newcastle Knights. They defended that set really well on their try line. The kick, they kicked too much weight on the kick. Bradman Best gets there, gets a catch, and then sprints out to the 20-metre restart, and then just finds his 5'8" there who's pushing in support, and then who bobs up in the middle part of the field, like all good fullbacks, is Lockie Miller, and he's got too much speed. That's a great strike back. It's just reward for a good try-line defence.
Was he rugby at the Olympics, or was he the 100 metres? He's got some toe. Like, these are serious strides he's putting in here. I mean, he goes from half speed to top speed far quicker than you and I, Shane, let me tell you.
Well, he's got Tabuai Fido chasing as well, and he makes no ground on him. I know he had to chase back because he was on the kick chase, but that's some serious speed there. But some real good work in the lead up from Bradman Best and Tyson Gamble. Knew what they had to do, take the metres, get to that 20-metre restart as fast as they can. Bradman Best found the pass, and then they found their speedster in the middle part of the field.
What a lovely moment, the young fella on the fence, and there's one of your heroes coming up to give you a low five. He might have missed, but at least he tried.
Well, first-time game, he's going to be a crowd favourite, that's for sure.
Try double, Lockie Miller, Newcastle to hit the front for the first time tonight. The Knights, injury ravaged, leading here over the Dolphins.
And the home crowd are up and about after Lockie Miller put the afterburners on Bossy. But this man on screen at the moment, Bradman Best, some really quick smarts from him to take the ball in goal, hit the afterburners, find Tyson Gamble, and then Lockie Miller, great support through the middle. And when he hits turbo, he finds sixth gear very quickly.
Even in slow motion, he's moving quick. Here it is. Does he leave him hanging? At least there was effort. It's a swing and a miss. And the Knights have the ball from the kickoff. Well, this game has promised this from the opening 5-10 minutes. Oh, we're going to drop ball, Knights. Saifidi has lost it. Hurt his shoulder. Haven't had a captain's challenge so far tonight.
Benny, we've got a captain's challenge. On-field decisions, a knock-on, Knights.
As we watch this replay, you're exactly right, Bossy. It's just been tit for tat, both teams. No one's kicked away. The other team's come back, got in front. The team's come back at them.
Yep. All right, what do you make of that one? It's caught underneath under there. By the way, some news ahead of Roosters Rabbitohs. Confirmation just come through. Brandon Smith will play. So Smith is in action for the Roosters against the Rabbitohs. Adam O'Brien is up.
Just looking to see if he retains possession of the ball.
Well, even if they lose the challenge, at least they're getting time to catch their breath here. Let's reverse the role. If he was trying to score a try, as he maintained possession.
Vision available to us.
Correct.
Saifidi has not lost the ball. Challenge is successful.
Right. So they've completely ruled the way of the Knights. They haven't sat on the fence. Let them retain the challenge. They've said successful challenge, but the shoulder's a problem.
Just back it up.
Saifidi has lost feeling, it seems, in that right arm. He's real pain. Ooh, that's going to test them out.
Yeah, he's been strong for the Newcastle Knights. He's had 10 carries for 116 metres. He's been powerful.
Still Dylan Lucas, Ryan Rivette, yet to see any minutes on debut for the Knights. They've sent Thompson back out there with Saifidi off. Now they get a penalty.
Yeah, these things, Wayne Bennett won't be happy. Just piggyback penalties out of Newcastle Knights end. They need to get back into that cycle they were in the first half, make them kick out.
This crowd right into their team here Friday night on Fox League. We come to you from McDonald Jones Stadium. James Hooper will update us on Saifidi, who has gone to the dressing rooms. 35 metres away from the line. Hastings, still no run. Gamble. Beat one. That was Lemuelu he got past. Now through the centre, Croker. You saw that catch and change direction. He's a good player, Croker. Now Gamble kicks. Tabuai Fido, it got big on him. Takes it over the dead ball line. That big bounce in goal. Knights are on a roll here.
Yeah, smart play. Obviously, they've seen something in Tabuai Fido. An early tackle's not into position. They go to the line. Everyone was expecting it, so it was a really good kick and had really good weight on it. Just continue to put this Dolphin side under pressure.
Daniel Saifidi, Vossi straight up the tunnel. It is a right shoulder issue. This is a heroic effort from the Knights when you consider no Adam Elliott, no Callum Ponga, no Tyson Frizzell, no Kurt Mann, no Jaden Brayley, no Jacob Saifidi, and no Jack John.
And now we've got a high shot, 30 metres out, centre field. Knights up by 2. By the way, you saw from the aerial shot, the trots are on tonight. We'll keep you in touch with race 2 if you're interested. Flano, that's your job. Keep an eye out there on the Red Hots. Knights tap and run. Croker 20 metres away from the Dolphins line. Well, they have dominance. Now they're going to turn it into points. 2's their biggest lead of the Knights. Campbell short with Fitzgibbon. He was pulling up though. Katoa and Kafusi there. Crossland, unchanged minutes for him. Canters with it. Thomas Cants. Just short of the line. That would have been a moment. Crossland back. Oh, hands. Hastings. Gagai. Nice move. Just caught 7 from the line. Newcastle. Big pressure here. Scooped up by Jones. Hastings delivers to Thompson. And the Dolphins' defence put to the test. Gilbert's in there again. He's made 35 tackles for the night. Newcastle chant goes up. Hastings hands again. Puts it down. He's been delivered to bludgers the last couple of plays. And he's batting at 50%.
Yeah, he did an outstanding job on the first one. The pass went to his right around his bootlace and he picks it up beautifully. But on this second one, a lot of pressure coming at him. He had to catch. He was singing about his kick. He just doesn't get it done.
This chance just to keep that pressure switched on by Newcastle. Tell me this doesn't have a feeler going right down to the wire, this one.
Without a doubt, both teams, as I said, just trying to get some field position, create some dominance. Newcastle not got all the energy at the moment.
What we have learned of the Dolphins the first 2 weeks has finished strong. Certainly round one against the Roosters, and last week came home strong to beat the Raiders.
Well, I think that's a Wayne Bennett influence. Just steady away. It's 80 minutes. What happens at the end of the game sometimes, and obviously just get the win however you can.
Katoa now on to Kaufusi. So Katoa's had the 1 run. O'Sullivan's had the 1 run. Tyson Gamble, on the other hand, had 7 runs. Double change for the Dolphins. Both Nichols and Gilbert are off. Miller knocks it back. No damage done. Dolphins, meantime, also getting Mason Teague ready to go on. This will be his second appearance. And for Newcastle, Dylan Lucas is about to come on. Big cheer for him. Family and friends in attendance. This is the moment. Number 17 for Newcastle, Dylan Lucas is into the NRL. Heart would be just about pounding out of his chest, I reckon. Knights 10 metres short of halfway. Crossland, Hastings, there he is, straight away. Lucas with the ball. Comes into the NRL in a bit of try-scoring form. Has scored tries the last couple of weeks in the New South Wales Cup. Tabuai Fido back there safely for the Dolphins.
It was an interesting change by Coach Wayne Bennett, getting his both Bromwich boys back on. He felt the game was slipping away. He needs his experience back out there. A double change for the Dolphins through Wayne Bennett.
Good news for the Knights too. Saifidi back from the rooms, is on the sideline now with Newcastle. Hetherington waiting to get back on as well. He's ready. Dolphins with the ball short of halfway. Jesse Bromwich, who's only just returned. Now Nikarima for Katoa. From 5 metres inside his own half. Miller underneath it. Wants to link up with Young. And Dominic Young caught there by Kenny Bromwich. Another big metres game for Young. He's 111 for the night. Newcastle outside the 20. Kaufusi finished off that. Kaufusi's come in here. Kaufusi has caught Hunt here. If they get a look at it, the sideline official hasn't seen it. The referee hasn't seen it. But Kaufusi comes in and sneaks in a little clip on him with the right shoulder.
Well, that's a penalty.
It's head contact. It's right shoulder to the head. I mean, I've seen far worse, quite obviously, but it's silly by Kaufusi.
He's been so good in the opening round. Just lets his emotions get hold of him there. Just drops the shoulder into the head of the opposition player. A silly penalty just when they had a little bit of field position, especially with his experience. Didn't need it.
Knights with the ball. Another set will start 10 inside their own half. Roosters and Rabbitohs getting ever closer at Allianz Stadium tonight. Third game of Super Saturday tomorrow night is a beauty, exclusive to Fox League. Broncos and Dragons at Suncorp. Canberra get their first home game Sunday night, exclusive to Fox League at GIO. Hastings with a bit of ball work. And Gagai is almost away. Just caught by Aitken. Quick play the ball for Young. This is Hastings. Now across to Jones. Nikarima did well with Bromwich. Close the play down. 30 metres out from the line. Couple of tackles left in the set. Crossland and Cants and Campbell. That was forward. Oh dear. A few times here, just missed opportunities by Newcastle to keep the pressure building.
Yeah, and I think it's that man Kafusi again, just from the inside, goes and puts pressure on. Just a change of pace, comes out of the line on the Newcastle 5'8", makes him play early before he wanted to, and he comes up with a forward pass. That's experience.
I reckon from kick-off to 20, 30 minutes into the game, we probably added 3,000 or 4,000 spectators. Getting here from work, coming along to the game. Good entertainment. Game 1 on a Friday night on Fox League. So Dolphins with the ball, 15 inside their own half. Now another claim of crush a tackle. And this one, we do have a penalty. And then Aitken just gets up. Well, you hate to see that. I mean, he goes from the hold to jumping to his feet.
Well, the referee must have saw something in it from the other camera angle to give him the penalty straight away, but I understand what you're saying.
Advantage Dolphins here. 15 metres inside the Knights half. And dished along there for Bromwich. So young Teague is now out there. Got a good stint last week against the Raiders and handled it, the 19-year-old. Nicarima, Bromwich, he must have to pinch himself playing alongside the likes of the experience of the Bromwich boys and Kafusi at 19. Now O'Sullivan, good shape. Dolphins, Lemuelu! Just caught over the top. Lucas, a great tackle. Nicarima clears it for O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan to Katoa, they move up, good stuff. That was Bradman Best. He went on the hunt there. He caught himself Katoa. O'Sullivan copped a hit. Dolphins with the ball. O'Sullivan still down. Lockie Miller, the magician at the back, comes up with the ball. No penalty for the challenge on O'Sullivan. His Best brings it back. So Knights, some real intent on their running back here. 2 runs back to the 20. What happened to O'Sullivan here? Knocked down by Fitzgibbon. Hastings is going to kick early here as he hasn't got distance all angle. Tabuai Fido with the ball for the Dolphins. Straight line presented in front of the fullback.
Some really smart play there from Bradman Best. Knew that they stripped for numbers. He had to come up and in and make the tackle down on his own 10-metre line, come up with a big tackle. Then on the back of that, really good positioning by Lockie Miller to come up with a kick. And then a powerful set and a nice early kick from Hastings.
Newcastle chant up again. Jack Hetherington is stalking the sideline. Young Ryan Rivette still waiting to come on. He's let the coach know he's well and truly stretched. Nicarima, Bromwich, nice play. O'Sullivan, Lemuelu, here comes the hammer, here comes the hammer, he passes, Young got a hand to it. Hamaso Tabuai Fido has scored in any case. Knights fans will claim the last pass was possibly thrown forward. Tabuai Fido played it cool. I reckon you could have passed it to him a little earlier though.
Well, some really smart football from the Dolphins. We wanted Sean O'Sullivan to run the ball. He knew Newcastle Knights player comes shooting out of the line, and Dominic Young, with his speed, just got him between the 2 Dolphins players, and that's why we thought it was a forward pass. He touches the ball, and I think we'll see there's going to be a try. But once again, defensively, if you're going to come out of the line, you've got to make your tackle. We saw that quick little tip on. Sean O'Sullivan took the space, and then they finished it down here in the bottom corner.
Well, from the hand, I suppose you can live with it. Young clearly knocks on, and then Hamaso plays it really cool, keeps the hands off, scores the try. They're talking about a few things here. Sideline official, referee, Bunker having the say. And Tabuai Fido, 4 tries for the year. Sivo a double last night for Parramatta. We'll get to see Will Kennedy on Sunday night off the back of his hat-trick last week against the Eels down in Canberra. And here it is, seesawing second half. Can't ask for much more than this for entertainment.
Yeah, and as we said before, some really good defence down on their try line with Bradman Best coming out of the line and shutting the play down. But then up on this other end on the 40-metre line, we get a Newcastle Knights player shoot out of the line and doesn't get the football. And Sean O'Sullivan plays short.
And Osako misses to the left. The margin is 2.
The Dolphins cutting Newcastle open from long range, and it's Hamiso Tabuai Fido who is leading the Dally M medal at the moment, Bossy, who has scored his 4th try now in only 3 games, a double last week. The opening try of the season against the Roosters. He's on the board again tonight. The Cairns Kangaroos junior, only 21 years of age and already played 1 game for Queensland. Looks a special talent.
And scored a try in that game for Queensland too, James. What a night in Newcastle after a warm day. Maybe some of the crowd went for a swim after work and then come along to the rugby league. That is living the dream in Newcastle. Bromwich on the run back, 20 metres out from the line.
And they've got to stay positive, Newcastle. It was a really good setup to that one defensive decision. They kicked early, they got out of their end, they just needed to stay connected rather than make a rash decision, someone coming out of the line. They were all over the Dolphins prior to that.
Tedesco v Mitchell, Keary v Walker. Plenty more other battles across the field tonight. That's still to come on Fox League. Roosters and Rabbitohs. Teague wedged between defenders there. 20 points to 18.
Yeah, Jack Hetherington knows better than that. You just can't be up around the head and neck of a football of the ball carrier. Just once again gives the Dolphins field position.
Jesse Bromwich on play 1. 25 away. Teague feeding along for Kenny Bromwich. Newcastle have to defend this set. O'Sullivan has beaten 2. Last line of defence is Miller. Dolphins right side, Katoa. Oh, good ball, Kafusi. Tackled by Gamble. Tackled by Thompson. Deep and left. Dolphins, Katoa, Show. O'Sullivan is closed out there. Dylan Lucas. Another good tackle by the rookie. Nice tackle. Katoa, dummy. Oh, he's caught on the last. That's one of the most disappointing last tackle plays I've ever seen.
Well, it'll be up there, that's for sure. But put it down to Dylan Lucas. Some really smart play. You're always taught where the ball player goes away from you, change your leg speed and go and get him if you can. And that's exactly what Dylan Lucas did.
And now, Shane, you get to see a new hooker in first grade. Ryan Rivette is on the field in 14. So the triple debutant ball as Newcastle make a mistake with Dom Young. So Rivette's first role will be defending. As we know, wingers can't challenge. So he's sent back to his wing.
Yeah, they just start to get some momentum, the Newcastle Knights, defend well, and then unfortunately they've come up with an error. The Dolphins haven't had to come off their try line too often in their second half. They've been gifted field position by penalties or errors.
Who are you tipping, by the way, Roosters, Rabbits?
Oh, Manly play South next week, so I hope it goes to extra time.
All right, fair enough. I asked, that's the answer. No, it's must-watch tonight on Fox League. Called the last time they played, I'm still getting over it. Had to take the socks off to count the number of players sin bin in the game.
What a game.
Dolphins 20 metres away from the Knights line. Nikorima, O'Sullivan is hammered again. Ball inside, hammer time again for the Dolphins, 3 away. They're moving in for the kill here. Nikorima, Jesse Bromwich, upright, held by the defence. O'Sullivan digging deep into the line at the moment. He's calling it here. He gets a high ball, had to retreat back. And then Brinko Lee taken. Last play. O'Sullivan kicks across, looking for his centre. Ewan Aitken is there. He's got it and he's caught. Well done, Newcastle, to hang on, and spirited stuff from the Dolphins.
Yeah, Gagai knew the ball was just going to land a little bit short. He let his opposition number in Aitken just take the ball, and as soon as he grabbed it, he put him to ground.
Adam O'Brien riding the roller coaster. He can't sit down now. Knights through 3 tackles back to their 20. Rivette, part of his rugby league upbringing, Palm Beach Currumbin High School. What a supply line they have proven to be. Outside the 30 on the last tackle, Newcastle need a big kick. Hastings, and he finds the grass, so that's a good result. Really good result. Now the chase has to be there, and there is 6 or 7 there for Newcastle. Well done, kick and chase. Kent has had his first stint, 4 runs and 24 tackles from Thomas Kent.
This is where Newcastle need to be really disciplined. Don't jump the gun on that 10 metres. No high tackles. Make the Dolphins kick out of their end.
And now Nikorima, 20 metres just like that to halfway. Up on and over the advantage line. Good play, Dolphins. Kenny Bromwich back with Katoa. 45 metres out. Hyman is there with the ball. So much experience across this Dolphins side, and they fell behind, but no sign of panic at all. There's a fair rudder, and the halfback does a good job too. O'Sullivan. There's so many experienced heads out there. They're ready for the fight, ready to go to the 80th and beyond if needed. Young outside the 30. Now Gagai will add to that. He makes 10. Good tackle, Kenny Bromwich. Hastings there with Rivette. Last tackle, Newcastle. Miller to Hastings, running it. Hastings now chips back. Well, there's nothing doing at the end of that kick other than Tabuai Fido.
Yeah, disappointing set end there for Newcastle Knights. Hastings should have known what tackle it was. Tackle 5 running down a short side with some pressure coming from Marker and inside. Doesn't get the kick that was needed.
Would have been an interesting call for Bennett. He's taken Nikorima off. I thought Nikorima was doing well. Donohoe goes back into the game. Kafusi to halfway. Leading by 2, the Dolphins. Just under 14 to go. And that is Donohoe. Well, he's gone out with different instructions straight away. He has his first run of the night. And bomb here to left side from O'Sullivan. Oh, Young lost it. That wasn't his best. Bromwich has passed for New. A passage to the corner. No reaction from Newcastle to the Young mistake. And Jesse Bromwich with a try assist. And what's that? Is that 3 for New? He's had a good night. Jesse New.
We just get this feeling about the Dolphins. They're just patient. They just chip away, chip away. They come up with an error here through Dom Young. He's been safe and he's been good all night. And then what's Jesse Bromwich doing out there? He knew he had to get that football away. He runs out and just gives it to his winger. And it was just the Newcastle reaction. There was no one behind the football, and it was just a race for the corner.
And at the end of this, Shane, the first career hat-trick, Jesse New. Oh, nice from Jesse Bromwich.
Well, Jesse Bromwich, a try assist. He doesn't get too many, the big fella, especially in that part of the field. 10 metres or 5 metres in from the sideline, a try assist pass. Well done.
No doubts about the put down that time. It's one thing to have the drop bomb, but I just don't know that Newcastle reacted quick enough.
There's a lot of new young players out there.
They're just double checking this one here. Just one more replay inside the bunker. We're waiting for try confirmation, and they will get it now. Just go again. Right. Oh, hang on a second. Yeah, try confirm. Those players that were offside are outside the 10 when Young made contact. So try is confirmed. And Asako has a kick coming up from the left touchline. Can't be any closer. In fact, his kicking tee's actually sitting on the line just about.
And put that down just to experience. The Dolphins really calm and collected. We're just getting through their sets, kicking into corners like you do at the start of the game. That's the experience in the football team, and they get a result.
24-18, this to go outside the converted try. Asako's kick, right to left, he's got it. Cool work from Asako. Their margin is 8.
Tessie New having a night out, but it's this man on screen, Sean O'Sullivan, who has shown great control over the entire course of the game to date. A hand in that try there, putting up a beautiful cross-field kick. And if you go back to the try earlier for the hammer, also had a hand in that long-range try as well, as we see Wayne Bennett, Clint Eastwood, cool as a cucumber. He's not showing anybody his hand, Vossi. And don't miss, coming up next, we've got you covered. All the footy on Fox League. It's the oldest rivalry in the game, the Rabbitohs and the Roosters.
Short kick-off, Young got the bat back. Knights coming with the ball. Hastings with it, plenty of time. 11 and a half to go with 26-18. We had 64 points last night at Four Pines Park. And in the last 12 minutes, what, 5 tries? Let's have 5 here, Shane. 20 away from the line, Newcastle in possession. By the way, 86% completion rate from the Dolphins tonight. That's handy. Best is over. Strike back, did he lose it right at the finish? They're going to check the put down of Bradman Best.
I have no try based on the grounding.
He was at his bullocking best, you could say.
And then I believe Bradman knocks the ball on.
And knock on the suspicion. Hastings is down for the Knights as well. What happened to him in a Kafusi tackle?
Yeah, well, Kafusi goes hard from the inside.
Ooh, well.
Okay, we have late contact here.
Okay, there's the first one. At worst, penalty
Jackson
Newcastle.
Hastings. We're just playing on to see whether there is a try and advantage taken. Bradman Best loses the ball, but because of the late contact earlier in the play, we're going back for a penalty.
Penalty sufficient, is it?
Yeah, penalty sufficient.
Yeah, I'm thinking
he might go to the sin bin. We'll see what happens.
Okay, here's the penalty. And Felice Kafusi
Felice Kafusi makes his way over to listen to what the referee's got to say.
All right, stay with it. Big moment with 11 to go.
It's late, but it's in the back. There's substantial whiplash, so it's on report and you're in the bin.
He's in the bin for 10. He won't be back until a minute is left on the clock of regulation time. 13 v 12.
And it's a beautiful ball.
Wow.
It's a beautiful ball by Jackson Hastings. He throws across the face of one of his teammates and it just lands in the lap of Bradman Best. And Bradman Best, so powerful, pulls through but can't get the football down. And now they're taking the 2 points.
Well, this is what the Tigers claimed the coaching staff wanted last week, and they went against the Knights. Here, the Knights are going to try and pull it back to 26-20. Do you like that call when you're playing 12, 10 metres out from the line?
Well, they're not guaranteed of the 6 points yet, but they're guaranteed of the 2. So take the 2. So if we do get the 6, we're all even. Because once again, we don't know if we're going to get the 6, but we're guaranteed of 2.
And now Jackson Hastings has been sent for an HIA. So he goes off the field.
That hurts.
Kafusi's off for 10. Hastings doesn't return in regulation time. He has to serve 15 minutes. So Crossland will come back now in the halves.
And if you listen to the referee, there was substantial whiplash.
That's right. Doesn't have to be contact to the head. The whiplash effect taking time with a kick. Well, you're the Premiership winning coach. I would have rather seen go the try. This is golden point mentality with 11 to go. I'm scoring in the next set and then have another 10 minutes to get in front.
Yeah, and I agree. And most of the sides I coach had real experience in there, and I'd probably leave it to them a lot of the times. And they, because obviously 12 people on the field, they'd want to get the 6 points to start with.
With 4 or 5 to go, maybe I'm kicking the goal because I'm in golden point thinking. He's got it. So we're 6 the difference. Lockie Miller has his first goal for Newcastle with Hastings off the field. That's the other thing. They're not their first choice kicker now goes from the field as well.
And the person that touches the football the most in good field position and creates is not out on the field for the Newcastle Knights. So I feel Lockie Miller's going to have to stand up in this last bit. Ryan Rivet is going to have to stand up.
26-20, all of that came about. The short kick-off and Young looking to make up for the mistake. It's a lonely place, the dressing room. I'm told they've reversed, they've gone the feng shui here, the Knights. They've swapped dressing rooms this year. Are you aware of that?
No, I wasn't.
Just looking for a change of luck at home. They've gone the other way.
I bet you that was the coach's decision.
Yeah. That's one for James Hooper to chase, but there was talk about changing the dressing rooms to reverse the juju. It's a crazy game, rugby league. Knights with the ball inside their 30. Gagai, bumping run. 12-man Dolphins. By the way, Lockie Miller's numbers tonight, 150 running metres, 3 tackle busts, an offload, 2 line breaks, line break assist. And a couple of tries. Back away for Gamble to kick and drives it hard. Possession is king when there's the one-man difference in the lineups. Tabuai Fido with the ball.
We probably see the inexperience of the Newcastle Knights, and they didn't actually have a shift shape over to where Felice Kafusi defends. They just really rolled up this right-hand channel and never challenged that far side of the field where Felice Kafusi defends.
Great analysis, Shane Flanagan watching this one. Kafusi out of the right side defence of the Dolphins, and they don't go there once. Osako on halfway. He can jam a field goal over. 7 points would negate the thinking behind the penalty goal. I don't think it'll be any long-range shot. Donahoe with it. Back throw Sullivan. He'll bomb again to Young. Test out his nerves. Oh, he lost his footing there. Adam O'Brien just spilled his drink all over his pants. We've all had that happen to us. It's now Gagai able to shift the ball out wide. Knights with it 15 away from their own line. Cantor's back out there for Newcastle. He gets a second stint in his first game. Hetherington is off, blowing pretty hard, the Knights front rower. Only 3 games last year for Jack. It's been a sort of a softly return at his new club. 15 inside their own half. 7.5 to go ahead of the Roosters taking on the Rabbitohs on Fox League. As Rivet gets them going down the left for Best.
That's better.
Tackle the Knights. Finally, they get to that right side of the Dolphins. And Rivet with a bomb. Well, he's got a boot on him. Tabuai Fido. Feet planted, comes up with a ball. Knights fans desperate for their team to force an error here. But the Dolphins tonight are 32 of 37 completed sets. That's really good. Giving them the best possible chance. Sako.
Yeah, it's a real good refereeing. Referee just telling them to bring the ball over. He goes and gets it himself. They want to get on with it.
He goes and gets it himself and then treads on Jermaine Osako's leg. Now he's on. He's getting a charge now. Referee G. Butler rather. It's all happening here. Dolphins with the ball. VB hard-earned index. Gilbert was the leader at half. In the first half, he's a clear leader in the second. What a signing Tom Gilbert is for the Dolphins in their first year. Dolphins 15 inside their own half. Golden Point not out of the mix on this Friday night in Newcastle. Fans in no hurry to go home. O'Sullivan's control on show again. His kick is going to find space. Oh, Young with it. Good reflexes on the bounce. Dom Young able to link up with Hunt. Hunt doesn't get it to the outside. There, oh, Ravetta's lost the ball. Knock on Newcastle. That one hurts.
It sure does. Really interesting with that sin bin, and obviously Hastings going to the HIA. Who does it affect more? I know the Dolphins are down to 12, but the Newcastle, they lose so much. Considering all the players they have out already before the start of the game, to lose their halfback who touches the football more times than anyone, gets his team around the park, to lose him with 10 minutes to go, 6 points behind, it's crucial.
I'm thinking they might go to 1 point this set, the Dolphins. They're 30 metres out to start the set. WI Fido. If they set it up, it might even come on play 4. O'Sullivan might put them in position. Asako, we know, can kick a clean field goal. Aitken taken across field there. Solid stuff from the Knights. Now Donahoe. Bromwich. Inside the 20 he goes. Asako remains out on his wing. O'Sullivan is in line with a right upright. Here he is. He's thinking shift. Katoa. Nice hands. Lee. Asako. All the way to the corner. That is so slick. So good from the Dolphins with 12 men. Jermaine Asako. One moment he's down the other end, one moment he's getting kicked by the referee, and then he's scoring a try.
As you said, Vossi, that is slick. With 12 men, Sean O'Sullivan take a bow, he sets it up perfectly, but the pass from Branko Lee, this one there, that is sharp. He just slowly approaches onto the football, he's not going at top speed, knew that the man was going to wedge on him, and that's silky hands, puts his winger away in the corner, and that'll be game set.
Oh, hang on a second. Just hang on a second.
Oh, no.
If the ball contacts the corner post, a different matter. He's got it past. Let's watch it. Nice and close. Here he goes. You cannot get any closer. If we're playing with a house brick, well, that's on the line. But the curvature of the ball probably saves him.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that other angle, he puts the ball about 6 inches into the in goal. Doesn't plant it on the corner post, which is part of the in goal. So we'll get try and try confirmed.
Just to have one more look. Jermaine Asako's getting on with the show. Here it is. You played bunker at home. There he goes. Hits the corner posts. Jermaine Asako had a millimetre to spare. They've put on 30 points, the Dolphins. How's that penalty goal for 6 the difference looking right now?
Yeah, exactly right. They just play with so much patience, the Dolphins. They're willing to go for 80 minutes. I've seen them the first 3 rounds. They'll just compete and compete.
And here's Asako to try and convert his try. Misses. 30 plays 10, 4 to go. Look out, short kickoff. Next up, Roosters and Rabbitohs from Allianz Stadium. The shiniest new stadium in the competition. Players warming up. Joey Manu, second game back. Luke Keary ready to go against his former club. Said it earlier, stars are bound tonight. And you know the history. You know the bad blood. Got a feeling they don't like each other. Just a hunch. Miller drives hard, hoping to find the sideline. He'll get a result. He's got a fair skill set.
That's smart play. We saw the earlier kickoff. He kicked over to Dom Young on this grandstand side. Dom Young got up and batted the ball back. The Dolphins set up to defend it as well, but Lockie Miller has got that skill set. He just punches it to the left-hand side and gets the football back for his team.
Score here, game still well and truly alive. Play one, Knights 25 from the Dolphins line. They are looking for 3 from 3, the Dolphins. They're close for Vic. He's got the ball away. Fitzgibbon has thrown it over his head. It's gone forward. It was facing the wrong way, disoriented, close to the line. Yes, that shot of Adam O'Brien suggests last chance saloon Knights.
Well, it was exactly what they needed to do. It was
captain's challenge. The on-field ruling is a knock on Knights. They believe the ball.
I don't think they believe it at all, but they've got a challenge, and they.
Yeah, well, something.
Know what I mean? I don't think they believe that. Here it is. Here he goes, pass away. Yay!
Just looking at to see how the ball comes out from Lachlan Fitzgibbon.
Pops up. And off the hand of Katoa, up in the air. This would be a massive result because Fitzgibbon had given it up as loose carry.
Isaiah Katoa knocks the ball out from Lachlan Fitzgibbon.
Fitzgibbon had given up on
Playing
this.
on to this point.
But Katoa,
he knocks it back. Knocks it back and then gets carted back in goal.
So it should be a dropout.
And the Dolphins are tackled in goal. We have a decision.
And I don't think they went at it real hard to try and get back the field of play. Maybe
Time's on.
it's still alive. I mean, 3:14 on the clock.
Yeah, they just need to go back to that shape they just ran then. Go to that space where Kafusi was. Really good shape. Their best ball runner and line runner. And Fitzgibbon is over there. Sell it to him and maybe play out the back. They'll get probably 1 or 2 chances to get to that space. It needs to be this set.
Kafusi waiting to come back. Dolphins line drop out. Sweet strike. It'll go close to the sideline. It goes awfully close. It goes too far. It's a monster kick on the angle. It's a penalty in front of the posts. Lovely piggyback Knights take the quick tap. Dolphins sauntering back. Oh, hello.
Challenge from the Dolphins.
Challenge from the Dolphins. Geez, they must have good eyes, Dolphins.
Newcastle need to get their plan together now. Attack this right-hand post. 1 or 2 into the post and then good shape over to that left-hand side.
Can you challenge something from 50 metres away, Shane? That you saw
Best
something?
has his foot on the touchline, which means the ball is out on the full. Challenge is unsuccessful.
Okay, so
Up here.
2:33 on the clock. Score this set. Still time. Crossland for Camp. Can one of the young fellas on debut score here for the Knights? Crossland, left side Campbell. They throw the hard ball again. Fitzgibbon, they've got it forward. Boy, oh boy. They squander it, the Knights.
Yeah, poor setup. They went there on tackle 2. They needed to get a little bit wider in their field position. Open up the spaces where they're missing a player on that right-hand side for the Dolphins, and that's way forward. Poor execution.
They have 2 of the most damaging setters in the game, Gagai and Best. I mean, tackle busters, good, hard players to tackle. Why not just give them early ball, Shane?
Oh, I couldn't agree more. And you saw on that set that Jackson Hastings actually got fouled and went thinking that was perfect shape. Give the ball early to Bradman Best. He gets one-on-one with his opposition and he pulls through a lot of tackles. Unfortunately, he mucked up the put down, but that's the type of shape they need to run.
They're as bad as each other there. Repack. Stay
They
down.
push on the scrum. Cam ended up with the ball and actually put it down under the black dot.
What a game next week. Dolphins versus Broncos.
Well, regardless of what happens tomorrow night, Broncos Dragons, I mean, hottest ticket in town will be Suncorp for Broncos and the Dolphins. Wayne Bennett takes the new kids on the block back to the old home.
And if the Broncos are good enough to win against the Dragons, both teams undefeated.
Oh,
what a storyline.
Oh, that's amazing. It's amazing. The beautiful sport of rugby league. All here on Fox League, all of it to unfold. Kafusi ready to come back on. The margin is 10. You'd have to think the Knights have done their dash. Just didn't apply enough pressure when they're up against 12 men. Roosters, Rabbitohs, we're headed there straight from here in Newcastle. That's how good it is on Fox League. Rugby League back-to-back. Kafusi, the entree has been good. The main course is going to be 5-star. O'Sullivan kicks. Gamble going back. There's a collision with Miller. The Dolphins, Gilbert looked to take it on the toe. They've ended up with a ball. Thought he might have been offside, but not to worry. So, last seconds of the game, and a kick to the corner to ice the cake. They're going to get another. No, the Dolphins. They are something. The Dolphins. James said Cinderella story earlier. They're going through some slippers. The Dolphins. I mean, the margin becomes big. The score becomes big. A touch embarrassing, Tyson Gamble's last few minutes.
But it's beautiful play from the young half. He shows way more maturity. He's only played three first-grade games, and he's come up with a match-winning pass last week. And then on this occasion, just cool, calm and collected. Knew what the clock said. Knew it wouldn't have mattered too much to the scoreboard. But comes up with a big play, a beautiful kick. But the thing I like about it there, Vossi, is they might need that to win a game down the track. They didn't need it tonight, but they know that boy's got the skill set. He's got the calm and collected attitude to get it done.
Jermaine Osako, a bit like at Four Pines Park last night with Micah Sevo, got a couple of tries late. He gets a try double in the last 4 minutes after the other winger, Tessie New, gets a hat trick in the game. Dolphins live ladder, they are top of the table with that try. Roosters, Rabbitohs getting ready to run on as soon as Osako finishes the kick. That's where we're headed. Brandy, Cooper and Dan to call all the action. Wayne Bennett, 73 years of age, has returned with the story of the year so far.
Amazing.
Osako to finish it. Oh boy, what a swinger. He gets it. Full time. The Dolphins are winners again. The Dolphins beating the Newcastle Knights. It ends up convincing on the scoreboard.